So good morning again, and welcome to this communication meeting for a thematic project of the fifth call.
Ed Veronica L-ewwel qed tilgħu kaffè, u mbagħad tal-amici ma marru.
Mute your microphone if you do not have any question, so we can go on. Just a short presentation of the objectives of this meeting, what we are going to see together today, because as your project is starting, it needs also to start the project communication. So the aim of the meeting is to provide you with all the information on communication requirements and branding from the program and from the European Union, and to inform you on the tools that we provided as a joint secretariat, and to help you to improve your project communication. For instance, we are going to see how to briefly draft a communication strategy, how to start the content creation, and all the content recommendation. And at the end, we will see the next steps. So the deadline of the obligation of the deliverables of communication you need to provide. The meeting is on Teams. You can see that on the top of the platform there is a Q&A session, so you can ask a question through this tool, or if you want, you can raise the hand, and we will give you the floor to ask. We foreseen a Q&A session at the end of each part of the meeting, but you are free to ask questions through this tool whenever you want. This meeting is recorded, and we will share the PowerPoint presentation at the end. In the next few days, you will receive a follow-up email with all the materials. So don't worry about this. You will receive the recording of the meeting and the presentation. Now, just to present ourselves, I'm Olga. Nice to meet you all, and I'm the head of communication unit. And here you can see our wonderful communication team. Today I'm here with my colleagues Thibaut and Sarah. I give them the floor to present themselves.
Hi everyone, I'm Thibaut, Communication Officer at GS, and I'm looking forward to supporting you in your project communication activities in the next month and years.
Hello everyone, I'm Sarah. I'm the new ID volunteer. I've just joined the communication unit, and I look forward to working with you for the next 6 months.
So feel free and do not hesitate to contact us for any needs, because we are here really to support you and but to improve to implement the best project communication you can. As you know, as you probably know, we released the project logo. You should have received an email we sent to the lead partners at the beginning of September. So each project should already have its project logo in the different version. We also sent a communication with the access for the website at half September, and but today we have the communication meeting to provide you all the information and about the next steps, the deadlines that we asked you to complete the website by mid of November, and to draft a communication strategy by May 2026. Other two deadlines to keep in mind are in the first semester of next year. We will organize a communication training. And then the communication reporting, we are going to It's once a year, and we are going to ask you for some data on January 2027. So you have the time for this. But these are some topics that we are going to see today. So just to give you an overview also of the timing of the requirements and the deadlines. So the first part of this meeting is on the communication requirements and branding, namely the rules and obligations. This is something that it's very important because it's the European Union rules and obligations. So the first things you have to develop is to put on your partner website. So it's an obligation that concerns all partners, not the project website, but your organization websites. You need to put a short description of the project, namely with the aims, results, the budget, the co-funding, and the logo. The logo is very important. Then another obligation that concerns each partner is to put a project poster in A3 size in your offices. For this, we will see later, we provide a template in order to help you, and with all the information you must put on it. Then you have to use the project logo provided by the program on all project materials. This is very important because in the project logo, you have the European Union flag and the co-funded by European Union that is highlight the co-funding statement, and this is the obligation to show on all materials. And we will see also in details these rules later. But if there are other logos present on a document, the union emblem, so the European Union flag, should be the bigger element, or the other logo should not be bigger than it. It's tricky to explain. You will see a slide later that explain better than I did now. It would be more clear. And in terms of program communication obligation, we ask you to provide a communication strategy. You have until May 2026 to draft it. But of course, the communication strategy is something that it's better if done at the beginning of the project, so that you already have your goals in mind and you can implement your communication activities based on it. Then we ask you for a project video presentation to complete the project website and also to update it on regular basis, namely in the news and events section. Then we ask you to add on the project website a media kit. We'll see it's very simple. There are some elements that we asked, but it's just to present your project in a simple way. And then each time that you want to produce goodies, promotional items, but namely goodies, you have to ask a validation by the JS in order to be the expense to be eligible. And if your project foreseen any investment in infrastructure or equipment, you have also the obligation to display billboards or plaque in the site of the investment. To help you in providing all these materials and obligations, we provide you, the JS provide you with the logo, the project logo, so you don't have to develop your project logo. You already have it. The template for the poster, the template for the billboard, the media kit layout. It's already on the content management system of the website. You will find it it's a web page already created. We provide you the website and Basecamp tool. And then you can find communication strategy guidelines, video storytelling guidelines, and also tutorials and guidelines for the website and for the branding, etc. And all the communication guidelines are available on the program website. There is a section in the main menu, the section documents, namely now that your project has been approved, the section that you have to see that project implementation 1. Under this section, there is the program manual, of course, and a communication part. In the communication part, you can find the communication strategy guidelines, thematic project branding. There is the brand book, the poster template, the billboard and plaque templates, and also but all the templates that we provide you are in this section. When you receive the PowerPoint, you will also have access to all the link, but everything is on our website. And to go on and to check the project branding obligation, at first we consider important to underline the correct spelling of the program name, because often we see that it's written in different ways, and the name of the program is part of the branding. So please, the correct version is this one, with MED in capital letter and with the written like that, as you can see here in bold, Interregular MED. And the project logo. You have received 2 different versions of the project logo. One that we call standard, and one that is the horizontal one. They have the same importance. There is no difference in use between standard and horizontal. It's up to the material you have to develop. And as you can see, the project logo is composed by all these elements. There is the mission icon. You know that each project belongs to a mission. And so each mission has an icon with a color. Then you have the project name. Then you have the name of the program with the European Union flag and the confunded statement. Okay. You have to use the project logo on all communication materials, I would say on all project materials. It's very important. It's the first and main obligation to put the project logo on printed publications, audiovisual, and the events materials, etc. And if in some case it's not possible to put the project logo, you can contact us and we will see if there are any possibilities to any other solution. And if not, it's important to explicitly mention the contribution from the program and the EU co-financing, even if, but it's very difficult that you have this, that it's impossible to put the project logo on some material. But we will find a solution together if it happens. About the use of project logo, there is a margin, a space around it to be respected. So in order not to be to give the space around it, a wet space to guarantee the correct visibility of the logo. And how I was saying before, if there is any other logo present on the document, this the second logo or the partner logos, for instance, not to be should have at least the same size in height of the European flag. So I think the picture is more clear than the explanation. You can find it on the brand book with some more examples maybe. And the logo, you have to use it as it's provided by the program. So you do not have the right to change colors, stretch it, or change elements. We create some examples of incorrect use. For instance, here you can see the logo split in 2 different parts. It's not is not correct, it's not eligible. And as thematic project, you have to use the project of the project logo, not the mission one. Sometimes we see that project use the mission logo, that is the logo with the name of the mission, that is used by governance project only. So please use the project logo we provide you. And here, just a short recap on the mission colors and icons. And on that you can use if you want. You can of course develop your visual identity, your project visual identity. Just be sure that complies with the branding rules of the program. So it's better if you belong to a mission to use the color of the mission to ensure uniformity and consistency of the brand of the program and of the mission. And in general, these are the two different fonts used by the program. So also with the same aim and the same goal, if you have to choose a font, you can use one of these. So it will help the brand awareness of our, let me say, family. And then we can go on the poster template. This was the obligation concerned each partner. So each partner has to put a poster of at least in A3 size, that is 21 centimeter for 20 for 30, 29, no, 42, sorry, right, centimeter. And here are the template that you can find, you can download on our website. These templates are developed on PowerPoint file, so it should be easy for you to use it, to modify and adapt without any specific tools. You do not need to be a graphic designer to edit them. You can, of course, you have to update the logo with the project logo, and you can change the pictures. Of course, if you have a picture that represent your project, we encourage you to use it. You can put a short description and the project key figures. And there is also the website URL to be updated and the social media section. Regarding social media, there is no obligation from the program to open project social media accounts. Just if you have it, you can upload the social media icons. If you do not have it or you are not foreseen to open it, just remove the icon. Remaining on the same subject on social media, if you have or if you want to open social media accounts, they have to comply with the branding rules. So for social media that consent to have a profile picture and a cover picture, you can put in the profile picture the a short version of the project logo. So as you can see here in the second circle, there is just the name of the program and the name of the project. It's possible if you have a banner, the cover picture, where you put the full version of the logo. If, for instance, in the case of Instagram, you do not have the possibility to add the full logo on the cover picture, unfortunately, I say that because it's not nice, it's not visible, but it's under European Union rules. The logo have to be put in the full version in the profile picture. We show some examples of some of our thematic projects from the second call. As you can see, there is Olive Oil Mednet who put the full logo in the cover picture. So on Facebook, so there is the short version of the logo on the profile picture, And for instance, in the case of Metsi Rise on Instagram, the full logo has to put on the profile picture. If you have any doubts developing these materials or opening your social media profiles, we are available to support you, of course. And okay, concerning the billboards template, so this is the case. It's not an obligation for all projects, but just for a project who has an investment in infrastructure or equipment. There is a billboard or plaque to be displayed in a visible manner. You will find a template that is this one. This picture you can see is another template developed on PowerPoint. But maybe due to the size, it's better if you develop it with the graphic tools, because the size of a PowerPoint would be enough in terms of resolution, namely to be printed in big size. And you can find also on the website some guidelines. But in general, this billboard have to be visible, so in a visible location, because the goal is to show people who are or beneficiaries or also general citizens, to inform them that this infrastructure or this investment is co-funded by European Union in the framework of your project. So you have to put this plaque or billboards in a visible way and with clear information, and yes, in order also to ensure transparency of the public funding. And in terms of equipment, you need also to put the stickers with the project logo on the material. If, for instance, you have to purchase a computer or a camera or another kind of equipment for your project, in addition to the plaque, you have to put stickers with the project logo on it. Okay, this maybe it's early for you because your project is it's starting, but it's important that you are aware that for the deliverables, we also have created a template. It's of course optional. You do not have to use it, but we developed because we've seen that it was helpful for some of our projects to have a template, a Word template to put your content on it. Of course, you can adapt to your needs. It's just something that we developed to help you. And as I was saying before, promotional items. As the program in general is engaged in green transition, we also we are engaged in not against waste and plastic, etc. So that's the reason why we ask project to ask for validation each time that they want to create and produce a goodie, a promotional item. Because if it's something that it's useful for your communication, for your project communication and for your project goals, of course you can develop it, but we want to be sure that it's developed with a good reason, that is produced with eco-friendly materials, and that responds to a communication need. For this reason, there is a form on the website where you can ask for approval for each goodies that you want to produce. Here is the link, but it's as well on the project implementation section on our website. It's you just need to be logged into the program website to access the form, but it's kind of easy to complete. And we also ask you for a mock-up, so to be sure that the branding is correct. Because if you put a logo that is not the correct one on on a material, the expenditure is not eligible. So it's a problem for you for the project, and this is the main reason for why we insist on the need to validate all the materials. Also, general branding materials, you can use the same form to ask for validation, or you can just send us an email with a brochure, a flyer attached, asking is it okay, you can proceed or not. We answer quite quickly, so it's something that we encourage you to do, to contact us for any doubt and to validate all of your project materials, so you can be fine and don't worry about the eligibility of expenditure of these materials. Okay. We arrived at the end of the branding session, the branding part. Do you have any question, or do you already have? Okay. Something that you need to. Not everybody can access.
I think so.
So if you do not have any question on this part, I give the floor to my colleague for the next part.
Okay, so right now let's talk about your project website. It will be, as Olga told, it will be one of the first communication tasks you will have to do in the next weeks, because the deadline for filling in your project website is for November the 15th. So the good news is that as for content management system, your website will be is made on WordPress, which is a really popular CMS platform, and I guess most of you already know it and have already used it. So it is user friendly, and so it should not be really difficult for you to get the hang of it and to update your website content. You have already received on September 15th the URL of your project website and also your login and password to WordPress. So those informations have been sent to the lead partner. And so, of course, please share it to your communication officer if it has not been done already. So he and she can also log into the backend and start working on the website. So who can manage the website? So the lead partner, the communication officer, but of course, if you want to grant the access, the administration rights to other people involved in the projects, you can do so. So you just have to ask this other person to create its own account on the program website. And after, you send us an email to the GS to ask for an extra access, and we will directly grant the administrator rights to this person. So you can choose to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that can administrate the website. Of course, maybe not grant those rights to too many people, because to ensure the consistency of the writing, of the updating, but you are free to organize the communication tasks as you like. As for the sitemap, okay, so here we have the 5 mandatory sections on the website. And of course, remember that you are not allowed to change the menu or to change those sections. So those sections have to remain the same on your website. So first of all, you have a homepage. It is recommended that in this homepage you will add a short description of the projects that can be easily understandable for partners, for other local authorities, but also for the broader public. And after 5 different sections, the what we do sections is a more in detailed description of your project. The what we achieve sections, it's where you will upload and describe your deliverables. So of course, this section can be filled in a second time. It doesn't have to be filled right now because your project just started. And so you will be able to disable this section for now, and after to enable it again in a couple of months when you will have some results to showcase. The Our Story section is a section. It was thought to describe the project partners, and you can also tell the story of the project. For example, the issues the partner territories face, and how your project will bring solutions and good methods to take care of it. And two really important sections are the events sections and the news sections. This is where you will, because the first pages, what we do, what we achieve in our story will be static pages. What we achieve will, of course, will move in time with deliverable, but what we do in our story will not move much will not be much modified during the lifetime of your project. But events and news will be the more dynamic sections. And so we strongly encourage you each time you have a project event. It can be, for example, a steering committee. It can be a field visit. It can be also if you participate to an EU event, or a professional event. Well, please create an event on your project page. Because it will showcase and highlight the activity of your project. It will also you will also be able to put here some information. So if you create also social media post to highlight the event, well, you can insert a link in social media post that goes directly to your event page. And also we also have the possibility to republish your events on the program website. So your major events, as those of major importance, we can also promote them on the program website. So it's important that you think about creating events pages for your project events. And also the news, the project news, it's important to update this regularly, because it is the opportunity to inform people about how your project goes, but also you can create a more global content strategy. For example, by addressing the issues its partner territory is facing. You can also in this section have interviews of lead partners or project partners. Well, you have a lot of possibilities, and it is also a good way to show how active your project is, and also you can link those news. You can use those news for your social media announcements. And on the news section, you also have, under the news section, there is a subsection called Media Kit. And in this Media Kit, you will you have to provide a short description of the project of 1 or 2 lines, a longer description of the project, to put the project logo, and also some project pictures. So if some journalists, if anybody wants to have a quick glance about your project, he or she can access this Media Kit page and have the essential information. And so, as I told before, the menu order and titles must not be modified. As for content recommendation, please be as clear and inviting as possible on your content, because visitors are looking for concrete and specific information. So we will get to it later on more generic content recommendations, but use as plain and understandable language as possible, even if your project is really technical. Another recommendation is to take care of the wording of your deliverables files. Please be sure to rename the files with keywords and a date and the name of the project, for example, so the user directly understands what it is about before opening it. So your website, as you understood, is a main window and is a long-lasting window for your project. So take good care of it, update it on a regular basis, and and it will, of course, be the place where people can will find any useful information about your project and give more visibility to your actions. How to get your website online? So the deadline is the 15th of November, as already said, and so you have to fulfill minimum requirements of a checklist. So of course, the checklist is available on a website, and it is also available as a link in this presentation that will be sent to you in the next days. So we expect you to communicate us by November the 15th that your website is ready. We will revise it, provide some feedback if corrections are needed, and after this revision, we will turn your website online. So the checklist, it is you have an example of a section of the checklist here in this slide. Do not try to read it; it's not important. It is just to give you an overall idea of what is asked to create news events, to set up the contact forms, languages, social media links if you have social media accounts, etc. You have 3 sections on this checklist. The first one, the first section is about the homepage. The second section is about the other pages, so what we do, what we achieve, the media kits, events and posts. And there is a third sections, and that are only recommendations for writing for the web and media content. So please take time to go through all those sections, and do not forget the third one with web copywriting recommendations, SEO recommendations too, and also media content. And of course, where to find help, because maybe some of you are really acquainted to WordPress already. Maybe some of you are less acquainted with WordPress. So you will find on the program website, in the document sections, website and Basecamp, a lot of information. And we would like to catch your attention on one of those 3 contents, which are the WordPress tutorials, because the GS has created a specific videos on a YouTube playlist. It is available on the program website, Interreg Euromed program channel on YouTube. And so this playlist contains 18 videos, and in total it's 80 to 90 minutes of watching. But with those videos, you will know everything you need to know to update your website, to complete all the requirements we ask on the checklist, and also a little bit more of details for example, forms configuration or events configuration. So you will find everything detailed step by step. So each video, it's between 2 until 8 minutes long, but it is really step by step, really useful. So most of the questions you may ask about how can I do this, the answer is here. So please do not hesitate to check it, and we promise you that in 90 minutes you will know everything you need to know about managing your website.
About Basecamp. Basecamp is a collaborative tool online with different features, and we provide these tools for our partners to have a single online collaborative space in order to avoid the dispersion of project data across multiple platforms. What we can do on Basecamp, okay, let's see later. Your Basecamp account. To access Basecamp, you need to register through a form. We have a lot of forms, yes, but through this dedicated form, you can ask to be added on your project group, and you will be also added to the general mission group, the mission of your project, of course. And all project partners can ask to be added through this form. It's not something that the lead partner needs to do for everyone. The only validation we should ask if we do not find and the contact that is asking to be added on Basecamp on the contact listed on GEMS, we should just ask for confirmation to the lead partner. But of course, it's a procedure that each partner can do. This is how the project group looks like, and the mission group on the right. So there are different features on Basecamp, and basically the project group is managed by you, and the mission it's managed by the mission, but there are all the information concerning your thematic mission. So it's important also for the community, for the mission community, to be on it. In addition to that, we have created a Euromed Communication Officers Network. This is a transversal group that it's dedicated to communication officers, but of course, if you want to be on it, you want to be as lead partners, or if you are involved in the project communication, it should be good to be on it. And the idea, the basis of this group is to ask questions concerning communication and to share doubts, and also to have a space of exchange. So if we can exchange, you can exchange good practices. You can share ideas on how to develop original materials for your project. And as you can see, there are different sections. There is the information and ideas, the branding part, and the website and Basecamp one. Then there is a part dedicated to document and files, because you can stock files on Basecamp, and there is a section dedicated to the calendar of the event. To ask to be added to this group. Here you can see the different link to ask for the creation of an account. And I'm sorry for that, but there is a different link, a different form for the communication officer Basecamp group. But you will find all the links on these slides. And then to pay attention to one. This is a characteristic of Basecamp. It's built with the threads, so there are discussion, and if all participants to the group subscribe a discussion, each time that someone posts a comment, everyone will receive a notification by email. And so pay attention when you received a mail coming from Basecamp. It's not every time a mail for you, but can be a comment for someone else. We've seen some confusion on this, so just pay attention when you post a comment. If you want that the comment reach everyone or not, you can change the settings of the comment. It's something technical, but you can see it once you will start using Basecamp. And then you can send private messages on the pings that you can see on the top of the platform. So you can reach out a person through private messages. And there is also some guidelines for Basecamp on the program website. On the program website, you can find always in the section Documents, Project Implementation, Website, and Basecamp. There is the Basecamp part where you can find the link how to request an account. and some guidelines on how to use the platform. It's quite intuitive, but you have also these materials if you need more help. Question time. Okay, everything, it was clear. It's good.
Okay, so right now let's spend the next half an hour talking about your project communication. And so first of all, we will start with your communication strategy. So as Olga said before, you have until the end of May 2026 to craft your communication strategy. Of course, you can do it before, send it to us before, because it is a long time span until May 2026. So do not hesitate to get started as early as possible. So as you probably understood, we have basically guidelines for everything, and so we also have guidelines for communication strategy. So you will find them. You will find information on the program manual, but also in the program website in the same section as always: documents, project implementation, and communication. And so there you will find guidelines about how to craft your communication strategy. Well, we are quite sure that most of you already had to conceive those kinds of documents. So here are some simple advices that you should or may already know. So the overall goal of a communication strategy is to identify your objectives, your targets, and your main channels and messages of the project. So the three things we expect from your strategy and from your communication are the following. The first one is to be effective. It's important to communicate on a regular basis because it will give more visibility to your project, because it will also attract the interest of the social media algorithm. But the importance is not to communicate because you have to, but you communicate when you need to, when you have something relevant to say. And of course, on your project, which are all really interesting, we are sure that you have a lot of interesting content to share. So the important is to identify at the beginning the core messages you want to share with your targets. Your targets are different. Some of them are more important than others. Some of them are more specific or more technical than others. So of course you have to adapt your language and your messages to each of the targets. And the third one is to define your key messages. So as I already said, and with always bearing in mind that it is important that the broader audience has to be able to understand what you mean, even if your project is really technical. So always translate your messages into effective, into visually appealing and crystal clear content. So as for objectives, we do not want you to reach the moon. We want objectives that are credible, that are goal-driven. And so a good methodology to set your objectives is to set SMART objective. SMART as specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So the aim here is to have objectives you can reach, objectives that are adapted to your targets, and also objectives that you will be able to follow the progress and the implementation. As for your targets, well, you have different kinds of targets. So there is a chart with two axes that is quite helpful to identify the different targets you can have. It depends on their level of influence. It is the vertical arrows that you can see at the left of your screen, and also the interest they can have for your project. So the ones that have more influence and that are the most interested on your project, of course, are the ones you have to focus the most your communication efforts. As for the other targets, you have to meet their needs or to maintain interest or just to monitor them, which means be assured that they get basic information about the project. But it's important that you define and identify your targets depending on their influence about the future of your project and also their interest for your project. So of course, each type of target has its own preferences in terms of messages. What do they need to know? What do they want? What will they share themselves? In terms of formats, how to tell them what we want. Of course, you will not address a head of local administration the same way that you will address the general public or a youth or a young audience. And also in terms of channels activities. So some of your targets will be more reachable through classical channels such as newsletter or emails. Other targets you will reach them through social media posts or visual video content. Some other targets, such as institutionals, will prefer to gather information during in-person meetings. Well, all these aspects must be thought well in your communication strategy, and also the right timing of your communication actions. So simple advice also is to have a calendar for your communication activities, and to keep, of course, your project officer, your communication officer, and your government projects informed about your main and milestone activities. For example, if you have some midterm conferences, final conferences, or also some particular interesting field visits, well, share the information with us. And with your project officer. It's always good information to have for the joint secretariat. Of course, to implement your communication strategy, you will need dedicated resources, both human and financial. And so because we ask you to update your website and social media on a regular basis. For example, what we ask you at the minimum is one news item on your website for each month and one post on social media each week. It is a recommendation that we have. And so we will also tell you more at the end of this meeting about the communication reporting, because we will ask you once a year an online reporting to know more about your events, your social media reach, and more. And so it is. We also recommend you to follow this kind of data on a regular basis. For example, each month or each quarter. So you can also monitor your own activities based on data-driven decisions and orientations. So let's talk about content creation and how to get started, because your project just started, and so you may ask yourselves, what can you already talk about? Well, for planning your communication, you do not need too specific or time-consuming planning tools, because an Excel table can simply allow you to plan and track your website content, so the news you plan to publish, your social media posts on your different channels, the newsletter content and distribution, and also your events. So it can be all done on an Excel table that you can share between project partners, for example, if you want to involve more people in communication activities, or if you need also to gather information from different project partners. What do you talk about? Well, it is important for you so to keep your audience engaged, as I just said before, so one social media post a week and one news item for months, but also to not also consider that meetings and committees are the most important things you have to communicate on your project, because it may not be the most relevant material to engage your audiences, especially external audiences. So remember that you have a lot more content than you think. because you can reuse your contents in various channels. For example, with an interview of a partner, of a lead partner, you can also produce several social media posts with quotes from this interview. If you design presentation slides for a meeting or for an external event, of course you can share them through a news item on your website, but also share some key figures and or some information on social media, and or reuse one of the slides that will be really well conceived visually, also for social media. So the reuse of content is a nice way to avoid asking yourselves, what can I talk about? And here are some really simple ideas to start communicating your project. Of course, you do not have to follow them by the book. We just put it here as sources of inspiration, and feel free to develop your own ideas. But as for example, you can think about content about the local context of each partner, city or region, about the issues they face, for example, the challenges, some key figures about the partner or about the region. You can also think about some did you know post on news items to inform the general audience about the territories or the issues addressed by the project. It is a nice way to engage the audiences about your context and the context and what you are going to do. You can also think about interviews, as I said before, with lead partners, cross-interview with various partners, reuse quotes in other contents. You can think about also telling your audience more about the identity of your project. So you can share, for example, a first timeline of the project for the next almost 4 years to come. You can share, for example, a carousel of visuals about your ambitions, your goals for the first year of your project. You can design a map of the partner regions or an ID card of the project. And of course, if you have some in-person activities, such as committees, but also field visits, it can be interesting also to share photos and most of it explanations focused on the practical issues and challenges identified during the visit, and how the solutions implemented by the project can bring positive outputs for every place. And so here are some more general recommendations about content, some tips and best practices based on our experience of Euromed projects. So we are going to start with a few things not to do, and after we will continue with all the things you can do, and you will see that you have project communication is land of plenty. You have a lot of opportunities to seize. So about the few things you should try to avoid, it's always bear in mind that you are the expert of your project, but your audience is not. And most of your projects are quite technical about water management, about water scarcity, about waste management, which are really technical issues. Well, not everybody is acquainted with all the jargon, all the technical terms, and just how it works, how these fields of expertise works. So we recommend to avoid jargon, avoid too technical terms, avoid acronyms or too internal related news. And you should prefer to use short sentences, to use as much everyday language as possible, and to use active tone. So we will right after give some examples to make it more clear. And another advice we have is to use a storytelling technique. And I will get back to it later, because we will provide you with a training at the end of this year, at the beginning of next year, so that you can learn the storytelling technique with a well-renowned trainer. And so this technique will help you for all your contents. It can be for your website, for your social post, for your events, or you pitch your project. It is really, really useful. So So these are some jargon that we often find on project communication. For example, the quadruple helix. Well, if you work in the Navy industry or maritime industry, well, you can understand it like something that can help a boat move forward. Stakeholders, if you love banking, it's having the shares of a company, or maybe just having a key or a stake in its end. Work packages, it's really popular for in our projects and in your project application form. But a package, it's no more than a box for general audiences. And when we think about outputs, if you work in the audio video industry, well, it's basically a cable. So you have to be aware that those words that we use all too much. We all talk about stakeholders. We do it too. Outputs and work packages. Well, when communicating to a general audience, it can create more confusion than clarity. So how to do it? Here are some examples. In black, you will find some real examples of sentences we could find in project website. And I don't know if you read activation and engagement of TWGs comprising both the partnership and local tourism QHSHs into a dialogue on the test of the STM. I don't know if most of you, or even if any of you, can understand what it is about. But in fact, what it says is more simple. It just says that local working groups with project partners will discuss and test the sustainable tourism model of the project. Well, expressed in this second way, everybody can understand, more or less, everybody with a minimum administrative knowledge. The first sentences, well, basically nobody can understand. So always be very in mind to make it as simple as possible. Another thing we would like to find you to avoid is to only communicate about meetings. So of course, let's be clear, we don't have anything against meetings. We do a lot of meetings, we love meetings, and right now we are in a meeting, so there is no issue about it. But if you only communicate news items or in social media about meetings, well, people will think, what can they do? What do they do in this project? Well, they do meetings, they meet, they sit around tables, and they go to restaurants. So we encounter a lot of pictures of people sitting in conference rooms, sometimes not even really fully booked conference rooms, or sometimes also Teams or Zoom meeting screenshots. And we would like you to avoid it as much as possible, because you have other ways to communicate about your meetings. For example, such as good practices. You have a picture of meetings that you can see at the bottom of the page, but it's more dynamic. Probably it was taken during a workshop, and so it shows people at work, people with a human touch, and people is in a more active position. Well, if I see that in a social media post, I can say, okay, wow, those people are motivated in getting the project implemented, and they are working hard to do it. So okay, it's better to communicate. And you will find here, well, so maybe I will not have the time to show it today, but you have here a link of a content developed from the Natural Heritage Mission about how to summarize the meeting. And it's quite interesting, because instead of saying we were partners meeting in this location in these dates, they really have 3 sections, which are our issues were this. We took those decisions, and we talked about this, and it was quite a clear way to show the outputs. Oh, sorry, I said outputs of the meetings, the results of how the meeting was useful. So you can also get some inspiration from this kind of content. And of course, another good practice is to follow other Interreg Euromed or other Interreg projects on social media. well, first of all, they will follow you back, so you will have followers, and also you can have an idea of what they are deploying in terms of communication, and what you can replicate, what you can find, what you like, what you don't like. So it's always a good source of inspiration. Okay, so we are done with the negative parts, and now let's go to the positive parts with all the things you can do and even more, because you have all room for creativity. So the level 1 is the project website news section, which we ask you to update on a regular basis. So to help you, we provided templates in the news sections. We provided 3 templates, from the most simple news templates to a more elaborate news templates. There are some things you might already know about how to structure or to design your content. Is of course to start with the first introduction, maybe 3-4 lines maximum, telling who, why, when, where. Well, it is the overall introduction of your article. You can put it in bold, so that a person that only opens your link and forgets to read the full article, they have the basic information in the introduction. We also recommend you to divide your text in paragraphs with section titles. Of course, you can use some text designs tricks. For example, you can bold, you can put some keywords or important expressions or sentences in bold. And in WordPress, the good thing is that you can add a lot of media. You can add modules for key figures. You can add modules for quotes. You can have modules for pictures, for gallery. You can add files. You can add videos. You can add a lot of things. So please use all the possibilities that WordPress offers to make your news as attractive and as interesting as possible. So when you will click on the link, when we will send this presentation to you, you will arrive to this template section. What we also recommend is, like, please keep those templates on your website. You can just hide it by turning the pages in private, but not losing them. So it can be so you can keep those templates and just duplicate the one you like for creating a new news item. Level 2, of course, is social media content. So it is not mandatory, as Olga said, but it is highly recommended to create at least a LinkedIn and Facebook project profile. You can also, if you have time and resources, and if it is relevant for your communication strategy, add Instagram to your social media accounts. Of course, X can also be relevant. X Twitter can be relevant depending on your audiences. So the best way, as you should see when you go on a daily basis on these platforms, to boost the visibility is to enhance them with pictures, with infographics, with carousels to share information. Of course, adding a visual material is giving much more visibility to only text posts. So right now it has become almost an obligation when you publish on social media. So here are, for example, some simple practices that we saw on our missions or projects social media accounts that you can use. On the image at the left is the LinkedIn carousel. Basically, it's a picture, the project logo, and some text. So it surely has been done on Canva, and it does not require such too much technical abilities to do it. The second one, it was made by the Coolnoon project. It's more elaborated, and it has been, and it is also a carousel for both LinkedIn and Instagram. But it is also a nice example of what a project could develop with a really clear visual identity, but also keeping in mind the identity of the program and the project, because as you can see, the colors, the pink colors is the colors of the mission, and the fonts used are Open Sans or Montserrat. So as the program asks you to, so it is a nice example of how you can create your own visual identity while respecting the branding rules of the program. So for social media, of course, adapt your language and tone to your audience. You can, of course, use a more laid-back tone on social media. Please go straight to the point. So to keep the information, to keep your content really focused on the information you want to share. You can, of course, encourage interactions with formats such as quizzes and or ask people to share their thoughts in comments. And which is really, really important is to always map and tag the relevant accounts. If you go, for example, on the program social accounts, well, we always make the effort to tag the projects or the missions that are concerned by a post when they are. So please always tag your partner's accounts, always tag your mission account, and always tag the program Interreg Euromed. So we will be informed also of your publication, and it will increase its visibility. And as for hashtag, always use the Interreg Euromed hashtag with med in capital letters, and also other hashtags that can be relevant given the project topic or the social media post topic. Level 3 is that what you can also choose to develop, and what some projects develop is a newsletter. It can be quarterly or biannual, and it is always a nice way to highlight your achievements, to have a sum up of what you've done in the last 3 months, and also it is another way to reuse the contents you have developed. For example, to reuse the news you have published on the project website. This is great content to be shared after in a newsletter. And it is great also to communicate to some audiences, and especially institutional audiences that receive and read those newsletters. So for some targets, it is still a really, really interesting way to get their attention. So we really advise for you to have a newsletter, and this is also an opportunity for you to communicate about the next steps you will implement in the next month. So to give an overall story about your project. You can also develop some short videos. So we have here 2 examples. Please take the time to look at them when we will send you the presentation slides. As you will see, they are really simple. For example, the one at the left is just some icons moving for 5 seconds. It surely also has been done, must have been done on Canva, so it's quite easy, and it's a nice way to enhance a social post and give it more visibility. So, and at the left, it has been done by the Sustainable Tourism Mission. And at the right, you will find an example of a project video, a post-event video. It's 55 seconds long, so it is a length that we recommend to keep the attention of your audiences. And it is simple and well made. So please take the time to take a look at it and to get inspired if you like. Some projects have also developed podcasts. Podcasts are quite easy contents to develop. So you have here the example of CO2 Pac-Man or Bauhaus for Med, which are 2 projects from our second call, and so they have developed a series of audio episodes. And so for this, you do not need so much equipment. You need a lapel microphone and some sound editing knowledge. But it can be also some type of contents you can consider in your communication strategy if you want to engage your audiences more in depth about some solutions or some challenges that your project faces. And of course, we had in the past or in the present some even more creative ideas, such as a photo competitions. It was developed by one of our projects this summer. You can see at the top right a really artistic infographics of the city of Imola, highlighting the fresh itineraries for tourists. And you also have it at the bottom right. It was a comic book developed by a former Interreg Euromed project. So a real comic book of 40 or 50 pages about the project. So as you can see, you have a lot of you can have a lot of ideas, and please feel free to explore all communication channels that can be relevant for your audiences and for communicating what you do, but most of it, how your action will positively influence your territories, your pilot areas, and more broadly, how can it bring solutions for the broader Mediterranean area. So we are almost through this section. Some final tips about visual tools. So of course, for graphic design, you can use Canva, which exists in a free version, and that will help you to create visually appealing posts and presentation. You can also use Adobe Express or Piktochart for infographics. For social posts, you can of course use some emoji databases, and you also have websites that can help you create HTML fonts that allow you to put some of your text in bold, in italic, or other text design tricks. So it can be also nice to make your post more appealing. As for pictures, because you may ask, what can I get pictures for my communication materials? Well, you have two options. The first one is to hire a professional photographer to create a customized database of images for your project. It is not really expensive. It can be really useful because in a few days, the professional can produce a lot of pictures that can be that you will be able to use for the next 4 years. So really consider this option, and also because those pictures will be tailor-made and of great quality. If you want to opt for more generic pictures, you have some free databases, and we recommend using Unsplash, Pexels, or Pixabay. You will also find the links on the presentation, where you will find some high-quality free images. Well, just bear in mind to always look for images as related as the Mediterranean or the territory as possible, because it can be a little bit awkward if you illustrate your projects with pictures that were obviously taken in, I don't know, North America or Northern Europe, or South America, Africa, or Asian countries. Well, you can also in your research pay attention to this, and so to select photos that can engage your Mediterranean audiences. And last but not least, your project video, because we had a question on the chat about it. So specific guidelines will be shared to you in due time, probably at the beginning of 2026, because you will have until I think May 2026 to produce the video. It is one of the requirements of the project. It's a video that can present your future challenges and activities. So it has to be short. It has to use a storytelling technique. We ask you here to hire a professional video maker, and of course also to put English subtitles, even if the videos are spoken in national languages. So every project of the second call has already submitted videos and has already produced videos. So you can check all the videos on the YouTube playlist. It is also linked on this presentation. So there are more than 50 or 60 of them. And so you will see the different options that have been taken from the project. Some of video are video motion video, other videos are real video shots, are authentic video shots. Other one are made more with stock videos. So you will see the options, and it can be a good source of inspiration. To help you getting this work done, so as I said before, we offer you some training sessions led by Charlie Jourdan, which is a well-renowned expert of EU-funded project communication. And so during those training sessions, you will learn the storytelling technique, as I mentioned before, and also how to adapt it to your specific inter-environment project communication needs. So you will learn these 10 steps storytelling technique, and you will also learn how to develop a lot of story angles, how to reach better your target audiences, and also a lot of tips to build effective communication tools. So it is not 100% sure right now, but what we are considering is to have the first part of this training in November 2025, and the second part of this training at the beginning of 2026. In November 2025, we plan to organize 2 sessions. The first one about the storytelling technique, and the second one about how you can apply this storytelling technique to your project video storyboard. So the idea is, after those 2 sessions, you will be able to have all the information and also your project story ready to be deployed, to be adapted to your project's video storyboard. So what we can ask you right now is you can share with us in the chat if in November you have already some days that you cannot attend the training, some days where you already know that you will have really important project events or important meetings, so that we can choose with a trainer the date that can suit most of you, so that most of you can attend this training. It is really important that you follow it, because it will help you a lot for your website, for your project video, and for more broadly all your communication needs. So we cannot force you to attend it, but we strongly encourage you to be with us in November and at the beginning of 2026 for these training sessions. Of course, they are free. The GS is paying for it, so you have no reason to skip it. And I forgot the part about reporting. And after this, I promise it will be almost done, apart from the next step. The next steps, we will ask you once a year to provide us with data about your communication activities. Data about, it will concern 2 types of activities. The first will be your events. So you will ask you about the type of events you have organized, also the attendance of your events, and also the satisfaction rate of your events. So for this, we strongly encourage you to have satisfaction surveys at the end of each of your events. It can be internal or external events. So it will of course help you to gather the feedback of your attendees, and also to share with us the satisfaction rates. And we will also ask you data about your social media, such as the number of followers, the impressions and views of your posts, the interactions on your posts, and the engagement rate. As for all the data concerning your website, we can directly access it through our monitoring platform. So of course, we will not ask you to provide it, because we can access it otherwise. So specific guidelines will be sent to you a couple of months in advance. So for you, it will be in September or October 2026. So you have time. But we encourage you to start collecting data month after month as soon as possible when you will have created when your website will be live and when you will have created your social accounts. So you can develop your monitoring habits and also so you can gather month after month all the data we will ask to you at the end of next year. So to collect and analyze data will help you to monitor the effectiveness of your communication, and so to identify and prioritize the most effective content, and it will also make all reporting activities easier for next year. So if you have any comments or questions, do not hesitate.
Okay, if you do not have any question, we received a few questions on. Yes, we have one.
Hi,
Gilles,
sorry.
please.
Thank you for the presentation. I just wanted to confirm, when will the training take place again? Sorry, because I didn't catch the dates.
I'm sorry because we didn't hear you well. Can you repeat the question?
Can you hear me like this?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you mentioned training dates at the end, like in the last slide. When will they be taking place again?
Okay, so the idea is to plan the first two sessions in November. So if you have any specific dates that you know that you cannot attend the training in November, for example, really important meetings that are planned for a month, you can share those impossibilities with us. So we can be assured that we pick a date that can suit the most of you.
Okay, thank you so much.
And then we will do a second. Sorry. You can mute.
Viajo un domingo, viajo un sábado o trabajo el viernes.
And so we have another question from Sanya. Please.
Hello, from Montenegro. Just one short question. Can we please receive this presentation on email?
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, we will send a follow-up email in the next few days with the recording of the meeting, the PowerPoint, and a satisfaction survey.
Thanks.
Do you have any other question, doubts, comments, or? We can just display the slide of the next step. So as a recap. So you have your project logo, you have your project website. We hope that during this meeting you received all the useful information to start with the project communication implementation. And we are waiting for your website by the mid-November. So just send us an email saying that the website is ready. We will check and then we will put it online if everything is okay. And the communication strategy, feel free to send it by now when it's ready, but you have until the May of the next year. And training probably once in 2 sessions in November 2025, and another session at the beginning of next year, and the communication report in January 2027. This is a short recap of the next steps. So if you do not have any question, everything was clear. We thank you for your participation in this meeting first, and we remain available by email, on Basecamp, by phone, for any question or any help you may need during your project lifetime.
Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.